You're watching Tech Support Forum's YouTube channel.
Hello everyone. Sorry for all the noise, fam, but in this video, what we're going to be doing is we are going to be installing Windows 7 in a dual boot environment alongside the already pre-installed Windows 8 on a new Windows 8 laptop. So the first thing we're going to do is you're going to open up your Windows 8 laptop. Alright? And what you're going to do is you're going to go on the internet and you're going to look up how to get into the UEFI firmware for HP laptops per se. For HP laptops, mine's an HP, I know it's the escape key. For others, you could try, before looking it up, you could try F2, you could try F8, you could try F10, you could try F12, or you could try the delete key. Although the delete key only usually is a desktop thing, delete key usually is only on the desktops, but desktop PCs. But okay, so since mine's an HP and I know the key's escape, what you're gonna do is you're gonna power on the laptop and start pushing escape. Okay, so power button, the different key. Power it on, start pushing escape. Okay, you see under here escape bar startup. Startup menu, and now it says F10 to go on to the BIOS. So hit F10. Security. I don't think it's under any of these. System configuration. Scroll down into boot options, and this stuff will be different on everybody's computer. So, post hotkey delay in seconds, we'll leave that at 5 for me. Alright, I think I set that up automatically. Alright, so just ignore all these. Okay, then here, secure boot. Secure boot, you're going to want to switch to disabled. It's normally enabled by default. And then go up one to legacy support and hit enable. And it will give you a warning saying changing the setting may make the system unable to boot the OS. Do you want to continue? Hit yes. So now, all your settings should read. Legacy support enabled, secure boot disabled. And now, for my BIOS, you hit F10 to save and exit. So let's do that. Okay. Just want to check my things again because sometimes when it beeps, it's not good. So legacy support enabled and secure boot disabled. So hit F10 and OK. Save and exit. Operating system boot mode change. A change to the operating system's secure boot mode is pending. Please enter the passcode displayed below to complete the change. If you did not initiate this request, press the escape key to continue without accepting the pending change. Operating system boot mode change 0 to 1 2654 plus enter to complete the change. So I'll do that. Just type the passcode that's on the screen. It's normal that nothing's on the screen. Okay, press the escape key for startup menu. So that's generally means it's turned on. But okay, so I'll see it's booting up normally. That passcode thing that it just did right there was in order to make sure that no malware was trying to disable the secure boot feature. Microsoft really likes the secure boot feature in Windows 8, mainly because it prevents you from installing another operating system. But what we're going to do now is you're just going to go onto the power thing at the bottom, and you're going to hit restart, because we're going to restart it again, and double check our settings in the BIOS. Make sure that secure boot's still disabled. Okay, ignore that noise. I'm ripping DVDs on my desktop computer up here, but we'll just leave that alone. Okay. So when it pops up again, I will press escape key, and I will go to the BIOS setup, and And I'll go over to system configuration, and I'll go down to the boot options. And as we can see here, the legacy support is enabled, and the secure boot is disabled. So we can F10 again, exit saving changes, yes. And now this time, wait for the computer to boot up properly. And once mine boots up, I will get back to you. Okay, my PC is up now, and what we're going to do now is extract the file that you downloaded. I recommend WinRAR to do that. So if you don't have that program, I did put the link in the description for it. So then once it's extracted, go into the folder that it extracted it to in here. Now the first thing you're going to do is install Minitool Partition Wizard Home Edition. Okay, I already have it installed on my computer. You can see it's right here, Minitool Partition Wizard, so I'm not going to install it. But the next thing you're going to do is take this WinIO Maker Professional thing folder and copy it, and then paste it in your local disk C, and then program files x86, paste it in that folder. It might ask for permission because that's the way Windows 8 works. Hit OK, and then head into that folder, head into the other folder, take this, send to desktop, create shortcut, and then go to your desktop. I'm just going to name it WinIO. Just double click it, make sure it works. Alright, once you're sure it works, you can just exit out. And the image burn also needs to be installed. Does it on my computer? Yes, it does. So let's install image burn as well. And next, I accept. Next, I got shortcuts. No, I don't need that. Right, okay. Just hit next. Next. No. Exit. Uncheck. Finish. Now this bootx64.uefi file, we're going to leave it alone for now, but we're going to need it later. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to open up the Minitool Partition Wizard Home Edition. Alright, so it's got the 3 partitions that are the EFI partitions or whatever. And then it's got C Windows 8. So you're going to click on C Windows 8, or it could be just C on yours. And I believe what you're going to want to do is go on Split Partition. So please specify the size and location. So the original partition size is your C partition. So what my new C partition, ignore that again. Okay, so the new partition size I want to be, I think it's like 657,000. That gives you 640 or 656. 640.62 gigabytes. That's the way, 640.62 gigabytes. That's the way I want mine. And then so it will automatically resize the original partition size. So this is the only one right here. The new partition size, that's the one that you're going to edit. The original one will resize itself. So this one is the size of your Windows 8 partition. This one's going to be the size of your future Windows 7 partition. You can make the sizes whatever you want. And then hit OK. Then you're going to go up to the top. And you're going to hit Apply. And hit Yes. And could not be completed because drive C is being used right now. Please choose one of the following options. A. Restart your PC manual or all. Close other programs. Click Retry button. Continue. So, what we're going to do is we're going to stop this. Alright, now what you're going to do when this box comes up, which it will inevitably come up, is you're going to click Restart Now. And I'm going going to answer a question. While all of you are probably wondering, why don't I just use the Windows Partition Manager that you access by right-clicking Computer and clicking Manage and going to Disk Management? Because it doesn't want to resize my disk beyond dividing it in half, and I don't want to divide it in half. So anyway, that's why I'm using Mini-Tools Partition Manager. Plus, it's a lot more thorough in making sure everything doesn't get messed up. So as you can see, it's restarting like normal. Booting up. Now it says welcome to Partition Wizard. Partition Wizard will start in now, and alright, loading engine, so it's basically going to do it now, like when the operating system is sort of in limbo. This is normal, this is what it did for me last time. It works pretty well. So right now it's going to do that. You're just going to leave it alone, and it should start going. So I'm going to just stop the video until it's done. Alright, as you can see, it's already restarting again. It started the second restart of the PC. The HP logo, it's restarting. Welcome to Partition Wizard, loading engine. So I just sort of did that because it's got to mount the drive now so that we can have it in my computer. And now the next thing you're going to do is just log in to the computer if you have a password. Once it loads up, I'll tell you what we're going to do next. Okay, so now that the computer's back logged on, what you're going to do is go on Start and go on Computer. Now, hopefully you'll see your Windows 8 partition with its space used in free space in your new partition as local disk D or whatever letter it decided to assign, and with 640 gigs for mine or whatever gigs you guys set up to. This one's going to be your Windows 7 partition. What we're going to do is we're going to hit Rename, and we're going to hit Windows. Type in Win 7 or Windows 7 or something that will make it easy for you to identify when we're installing Windows 7, so you don't write it to the wrong partition, because that could mess up your entire computer. So once we've done that, you can exit there, go on Start, right-click Computer, click Manage, and I'm sorry if this doesn't work too well for you, because I've got the Start is back. So it's sort of, it brings it like that. But you would go into Libraries, or the File Explorer down here, then right-click on Computer and click Properties if you don't have something that's an alternative start menu back. Now click on Disk Management, and then you should see, I'll make this bigger, Healthy Recovery Partition, Healthy UEFI System Partition, then Windows 8 Partition, and then a Windows 7 Partition. Now you can exit this out, and then just restart your computer. Okay, now that your computer's rebooted again, what you're going to need to do is you're going to take the Windows 7 disk that you have, your Windows 7 disk, and put it in the drive. Now, just make a note to yourself, the following step that I'm going to do is optional. It's not required. You don't need to do it if you have a Windows 7 ISO, because this step that I'm doing right here is showing you how to create a Windows 7 ISO. I'm putting in my Windows 7 DVD into the drive. We'll just wait for it to pop up. hurry up here. Maybe it just doesn't. Okay. There it is. Okay, see, it's in my DVD drive here. And what you're going to do now is open up the WinAIO application that you installed earlier. So once it gets loaded up, you are going to go to DVD to ISO. And the drive is your drive letter. That's E. It's the only one that's there for me. Then click on ISO path. Then just click on desktop and type in Windows 7. Just type in Windows 7 as the ISO name. Hit save, and now hit start. So it's going to do this, and I will start the video again when it's done. Okay, as you notice, it says completed all tasks. So click finish now, and you can exit this box here. You can now take your Windows 7 DVD out of the drive. And put it in a case. Put it in the case or wherever and put it away. And, alright, I'm moving our mouse here. Okay, so the next thing you're going to want to do is oh, whoops, I'm really off the ball right now. Click on ISO folder, and then when you select source ISO, it'll be on the desktop, and it'll be this one right here, Windows 7 ISO file, and select folder to do it. Click on the desktop, make a new folder, call it Windows 7, and then click OK, and then click extract. So I can extract the ISO, and I'll bring the video back when it's finished. Okay, it says completed all tasks again. Just click finish, and click exit. And now on your desktop, you should have a nice folder that says Windows 7 in it, and has a bunch of files in it. And under the UEFI, it should have Microsoft boot. Okay. Now, next thing you want to do on here is now you're going to go into your downloads folder and go into the folder you extracted earlier, and that boot x64.uefi file that I told you to leave alone earlier, we're going to copy it. Okay, right click, copy. And then you're going to go onto that Windows 7 folder. You're going to go under the UEFI folder, under the Microsoft folder. Actually, no, I shouldn't have told you to copy that first, because what you got to copy first is you got to copy the boot folder out into the UEFI folder. So there should be a path called Windows 7 UEFI boot, and then here it should be the boot in the Microsoft folders. So in the boot folder is where you'll want to paste that. So we'll just copy it again, right click, copy that boot x64.uefi file, and then in the Windows 7 UEFI boot folder, click paste in the Windows 7 UEFI boot folder. You paste boot x64.uefi there, and then you can click exit. And then go back into the WinAIO Maker Pro. Make sure it's still open. Now I'll just double check that again. Windows 7 UEFI boot x64.uefi is there. So now hit select Wins, and on the desktop select the Windows 7 folder. Go under Sources, and then install.win. Hit Open. Hit Save All Changes. So I'll just wait till this is done, and I'll bring the video back. Okay, so here when it pops up and it asks you, do you want to clean all CFG files for Enable AIO feature? Click Yes. Then it'll say completed all tasks. Click Finish. And now the next thing you want to do is go on the folder to ISO tool, select source folder, Windows 7, hit OK. Select ISO to save, go on the desktop, call it Windows 7 EFI. Now click Save, and ISO label, call it Windows EFI, Windows 7 EFI, and now click Build, and I'll get back to you when that's done. Okay, so it says Success Creating ISO in C Users Row Desktop, C Users your username Desktop, Windows 7 EFI.ISO. So click OK. You can exit this, and you can exit that. I'm going to enter empty my recycle bin, because I'm cool like that. And now you're going to open up ImageBurn. Okay. And you're going to click on Write Image File to Disk. And then you're going to click this little icon right here. And then you're going to click on Desktop. We're going to scroll to the bottom. And then the Windows 7 EFI ISO file. You are going to hit Open. And then the destination is your DVD drive. And what you're going to do is put a blank DVD in the DVD drive. And once you got that image selected there, and then now you're going to click this button right here. And then it's going to start burning it. And I'll come back to you when that's done. Okay, if you're on a laptop, you may see this message. All attempts to close the drive tray have failed. This is to be expected on laptop-style drives. Close it manually, and then click OK. Since I'm on my laptop, so all you got to do, the drive will have popped out. Should shut. And that's just because it's going to verify the disk, and I want to open and close the tray. Okay, it's finally finished. My laptop's optical drive is slow. Hopefully yours is a bit faster, otherwise you'll be waiting not very patiently. Anyway, click OK. And then you can exit ImageBurn. And go on the computer. And note down the drive letter that your Win7 EFI shows up near. For me, it's E. Note that down somewhere because we're going to need it later. So the next thing you're going to do is you're going to go into, on the bottom right corner for the charms bar, hit Settings, change PC Settings, go into General, scroll to the bottom, and we're going to be using this. Okay, if anybody gets this error here, I do have a solution for that, but you're going to need a blank USB stick for it. That is 4 gigs or larger, I think, anyway. Okay. So once the computer has restarted after you click that restart button, you should see a menu like this. Choose an option, and you need to click on the troubleshoot option. Then you need to click on advanced options, and then commands prompt. And then this command prompt. And then your computer will normally reboot after this. But since my computer, for some reason, doesn't have the recovery partition that's needed to run the function I showed you, I had to run it a different way. And that's just something I'll explain at the end of the video. But anyway, the computer should reboot now, and then this command prompt black box should pop up. And then you should see X Windows System 32. And what you're going to type at this is, remember the drive letter you noted down? You're going to type that drive letter, then colon. So see, the drive letter for me was E. So you're going to type E colon backslash setup setup.exe. E setup.exe. Okay. Normally, it'll work, but if you get this error, esetup.exe is not recognized as internal or external command, opera program, or batch file. This is what you need to do, because obviously with the reboot, the whatever you want to call it, the drive letter has changed. So at the command prompt now you need to type diskpart, diskpart, and Microsoft diskpart, that should pop up. And then once you see here diskpart, type list disk, list space disk. Alright, disk 0 is a hard drive. Disk 1 is a USB that I have plugged in. So disk 0 is the hard drive, that's what we want. Type select disk 0. So the word select space disk space 0, then enter. Say disk 0 is now the selected disk. Type list vol. So to list vol, list space vol, and then enter, that'll list the partitions. So volume 0, drive letter F is Win7 EFI. We can tell that's the DVD because that's the Win7 EFI is the name we gave the DVD, remember? That's why I had you give it that name, so you would know what it is. So that's letter F. So now we can exit diskpart. And now we can use that new drive letter, which is F:// setup.exe. So now that you've got the new drive letter, yeah, and you should type the new drive letter : setup.exe, hit enter. And now I can hear my disk drive spinning. And yeah, so basically you only have to do the whole disk part thing in getting the new drive letter if the setup.exe or if the Windows setup doesn't pop up the first thing when you use the first drive letter in the command prompt. So you should always try the first drive letter you noted down from the My Computer window before having to use the disk part method. Now, you should come up with the Windows 7 install box, leave the select the languages and whatever that you want, click next. Click install now. And just give it a minute, it should just pop up full screen like regular Windows 7 install. There it is. Setup is starting. I was worried there for a second. So I am sure a lot of you are already getting excited because we have Windows 7 finally getting on our Windows 8 computer that we haven't been able to reinstall it or reinstall or get a dual boot yet because of this. Alright, now select the operating system you want to install. This is just one of the things that happens when we use the WinIO program. It makes it so all the Windows 7 editions are on your disk. So I want to install Ultimate, so I'll select Ultimate, and then I will select the next button. Alright, so then it gives you the license agreement. You obviously have to accept it to install Windows 7. Click next. Then here is really important. You want to click Custom Advanced Install. Okay, and now this is also important too. I have 5 partitions. Disk partition 1, disk 0 partition 1, WinRE, disk partition 2, disk 0 partition 2, disk 0 partition 3, disk 0 partition 4, which is the Windows 8 partition, and disk 0 partition 5, which is the Windows 7 partition. So you're going to select the partition you want for Windows 7, which is, for me, this is the one. So you're going to go on Drive Options Advanced, and then you're going to click Format. And then click OK to the dialog box. And then you're going to click Next to start the install. Alright, yep, this is what we're going to do. Now click Next. You might have an error like this on the bottom, but it'll work anyway. Click Next. The partitions on the disk selection are for file installation are not in the recommended order. For additional information about installing to GPD disks, go to the Microsoft website. We want to proceed anyway. It doesn't matter. I've done this before, or I did this actually before on this laptop. I just erased everything so I could do this tutorial, so I know it works. Now, you go through the install like normal, and we wait now. Okay, so as you can all see, it's going to restart soon. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Alright, it's going to restart. So, here it comes. So it should come up right away for a bootloader. The computer's just reading the disk right now, since it doesn't like. See, here we go. Windows Boot Manager. Oh, okay. I just did that. Okay, but you saw the menu there were Windows 7 and Windows 8. I think just because it's an installer thing, it decided to boot within 3 seconds, but normally it gives you longer for the bootloader. But here we go again. It's starting Windows, and setup is updating registry settings, which is good. And now it should load up. Setup is starting services. And completing installation. Okay, so it says setup will continue after restarting your computer. So it's going to restart it again. This time we should see the bootloader as well. See, Windows 7 and Windows 8 are able to choose. So we'll choose Windows 7, of course, and let it boot up. Setup is preparing your computer for first use. I'm sure a lot of you have seen this screen before, but if you haven't, it's very simple. Once this pops up, it'll just prompt you to do stuff like enter your product key, enter a username, enter a password, change your account picture if you really care about something like that. I actually do, but you know. And, you know, do stuff like that, and then it will take you to the Windows desktop, and I will skip past the video while I'm entering all my personal details until we get to the Windows desktop. See, as you can see, Windows 7 Ultimate, and it's ready to go. Okay, now as you can see, we're at the Windows 7 desktop, and it looks like crap. Now, it looks like crap, and there's no drivers installed for anything. That's why it looks like crap. So we're going to just take your Windows 7 DVD out of the drive, put it somewhere, and if you want to get your drivers installed, you're going to have to, I'll actually reboot the PC in the Windows. Actually, you're going to go on my computer here, make sure you can see your Windows 8 partition as well as your Windows 7 partition, and you're going to take your Windows 7 partition and rename it to Windows 7, so you know what it is when you're in Windows 8. And it says you need to provide administrator permission, then provide it. Windows 7C, Windows 8E. Perfect. And now I will demonstrate to you that booting into Windows 8 in fact does work. And I will actually show you towards the end of the video, well, this is pretty much the end of it, that how to get your drivers for Windows 7 for your laptop. It actually wasn't that complicated, even though mine didn't have official Windows 7 drivers. You can download everything from the individual manufacturer. So see, as you can see, you've got Windows 7 and Windows 8 options. So let's pick the Windows 8 option. And as you can see, Windows 8's booting up normal on my laptop. And I will keep the camera on through the entire boot process, so let you see it boot into the Windows 8 desktop. But you can still boot, and it's a dual boot. It's already a functioning dual boot system. Type in my password here. Really don't care if you guys see it. You don't know where I live, so you can't come get my computer. So it's coming on Windows 8. now that my Windows 8 desktop's booted up, basically this is how you're going to get drivers for your Windows 7 side. You're going to go on Start, or, well, for true Windows 8 users, go under the Charms bar and type Search, and type Device Manager. It's not under Apps, it should be under Settings. And then you're going to click on Device Manager, of course, which should open up now back in the desktop. Alright, and basically, you can get any drivers you need from this column. So you find the Bluetooth driver, you find the graphics drivers. Mainly the graphics drivers is what you'll need. So Intel HD Graphics 4000, Radeon HD 7670M for me. Those are both because I have two graphics cards in this laptop. And network adapter, which is the Intel Centrino Wireless N2230. So you can go on the internet, and basically just Google Intel HD Graphics 4000 Windows 7 driver. And you can go on the Intel Download Center right here, first result, and you can click on Windows 7 64-bit and driver. And you can find the correct driver that you need here. And then once you download it, you can save it into your computer. And then if you go under your computer, you should see your Windows 7 partition listed here as Windows 7 8. And you can copy stuff to that partition and stuff. And yeah, so basically what I'm going to do is install my drivers, and then I'll report back and show you my nice, good Windows 7 desktop. Okay guys, here's my the Windows desktop, Windows 7 desktop with drivers installed. You can see it's got the arrow effects, it's got the transparency, you know, you can go like this, and you got the effects. See? Alright. Yeah. So that's it. You've successfully done this and installed Windows 7 alongside the Windows 8 installation on your new Windows 8 PC with the UEFI. I hope this tutorial works for you, and any comments or problems can be emailed to the email address in the description, or posted on the tech support forum in the thread provided. Alright? Oh, and the next part of the video is going to be about if you get an error while trying to enter the Windows 8 Advanced Startup thing to get to the command prompt. If you encounter an error that just continues to restart your computer, if you run into that error, the next part of the video is about that. But if you installed successfully, you can close the video now. So what you're going to do is you're going to restart the PC as suggested and boot into Windows 8. Okay. Now, what you're going to do now is you're going to plug your USB stick into the computer. Okay. So once you've plugged it in, go onto the computer. Go onto the computer, and then find it here. This is it here. And you're going to right click it, you're going to click Format It. And I'm going to warn you that this is going to remove all data that's on the USB. So I would copy and paste it over to the computer or somewhere else before you format the USB. So you just format the USB. And you're actually going to need less than a gig to do this. So what I said earlier was wrong. But okay, so blank USB, there's no files in it. Okay. So now what you're going to do is you're going to go on the Start button, or, well, for true Windows 8 users, go on the Charms bar, click Search, and type Recovery. And you're going to go into Settings for that. And then you're just going to click here, Recovery. Then you're going to click on Create a Recovery Drive. Then click Next. And it'll find the blank USB that's plugged in. And available drives. See here, I named it blank USB. You should do that too, so you can find it and hit next and hit create, and it'll create the recovery drive for you. Creating the recovery drive. Taking a while. And once it's done, which should be soon. Oh, recovery drive is ready. Okay, so finish. And you can exit that, and if you go onto your computer, you should see a new recovery drive and the stuff on it, alright? So what you're going to do now is you're going to restart your PC. Okay, so now you're going to leave the USB plugged in, and you're going to restart your PC. And when it starts up again, before it boots into Windows, you are going to hold the hotkey that launches into the boot manager for your Uefi firmware. For me, it's escape. It's escape, then F9. Hit escape. This menu pops up. I push F9. Now, you'll have the following options: OS boot manager, USB hard drive UEFI, boot from EFI file, notebook hard drive intro, okay, blah blah blah. So you're going to use USB hard drive UEFI, you're going to hit that one, and it should boot into the recovery USB that we created. Okay, so it's booted. So it's asking me to choose a language. I speak English. Keyboard layout, just pick American. And then you've got your same options that were shown earlier. Click troubleshoot, advanced options, and command prompt. And now you can follow all the same steps that I performed at this point earlier in the video. And that's how you fix the restart error.
This has been another great presentation from the Tech Support Forum YouTube channel. Go to our website at www.techsupportforum.com for all your IT inquiries.